All right, we got college basketball tipping off, football coming down the wire here. So let's talk baseball. It's all happening right now in the world of sports, including college baseball. And the guys at D1 Baseball do it better than anyone else. Aaron Fitt joining us again on Pirate Radio Live. Aaron, appreciate your time as always. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
Doing great. And you were able to get over to Clark LeClaire Stadium over the weekend for some Pirate baseball. And just kind of wanted to get your overall thoughts on what you saw from Cliff Godwin's team. This one's different, but it is what is happening in the world of sports. Ton of new faces, Aaron, that I don't even know yet. Names and numbers I have to recognize. So let's start with the new guys on this team. Who stood out to you when you were able to watch the Pirates as far as new faces coming into the program?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, first of all, turnover is just the name of the game now. It's just you look at all these new rosters and you see 27, 30, 31 guys. It's not a big deal because that's just just how the game has gone with the portal and obviously, East Carolina had a core of experienced players that had been together for several years. A lot of those guys are gone now, so they had a lot of holes to fill. And I think they did a really good job plugging those holes. I kind of got to sit on them for 2 days this weekend. And the first day, it was like, okay, just kind of getting a feel for him a little bit. The second day, some guys started to flash a little more, and I started to get a little more excited about this club. So I would say out of the newcomers, I like what they did on the mound in particular. The freshman, probably the one guy to give you one name that stood out the most was Sean Jenkins, the freshman right-hander who was, I believe, an early enrollee this year, the 17-year-old. I mean, that guy looks like the next blue chip East Carolina ace, following in the footsteps of the great ones they've had recently. The Gavin Williams and the Agnos and, obviously Trey Savage. I mean, they've had a nice lineage of these really legit frontline dudes, and I think he's got a chance to be that next guy. It was up to 96, with life and kind of some funk, high slot, tough look on guys. They get that kind of ride to it, really spin the breaking ball, two different breaking balls. I thought I saw a distinct, curveball and slider, and both of them were tight. And I think he's got a change up as well. I mean, it's a real dude. So that's probably the single most exciting guy that I would say I saw this weekend, as far as the new guys in particular. But I mean, it's also a nice job in the portal. I think I didn't get to see Brad Tolik. I know that's a guy that they like a lot. Have seen him in the past. I think that was a good pickup for him on the mound. Alex Boucher, the shortstop they got from Old Dominion, he's going to be a good player. For this team. I mean, he has been a good player. He's been a very productive player at ODU, and he's just strong. I mean, it's moves better than you think. Maybe when you look at him, he's kind of a thicker guy, but I like his instincts defensively. I think he can handle that spot okay, and I think he's going to be an offensive force for him. So that's another piece to really keep an eye on.
Aaron Fitt joining us, recapping what he saw at Clark LeClaire Stadium over the weekend. Aaron, we talked to Parker Bird a couple weeks ago. He said he's consistently seeing low to mid 90s more than he has since he's been here at East Carolina. Did you notice that maybe a little less upper 80s, low 90s, and more low 90s to mid 90s consistently with these pitchers?
Saw some of it, certainly. I mean, in the fall, of course, it can be a little bit of a mixed bag. But Jaden Winter, I think, was up to 93. That's a guy that I would think could be a breakout candidate now as a fourth year, I think, in the program. I mean, he's got four pitches. You see it. You see the arsenal there. He's got the size. He's got arm strength. He's got some kind of some sinking, riding life on that fastball, and it's like, it's why can't this guy, be that next dude to kind of step forward and is kind of a later career breakout guy, because he's shown flashes of it over the years. It's a matter of consistency, I think. So I think he continues to get better. He didn't have the best outing. He was okay the other day, but you could see it there. So that's one arm strength guy that caught my eye. I would say Ethan Young. I think a JUCO guy that they brought in was up to 95. Really impressive look there. I thought the slider was a real pitch for him. And, we mentioned Jenkins as a power arm. Lance Williams was up to 94, another newcomer that they brought in, freshman that I think is a really nice building block for him. And I think Brad was it Bradley Zayak or Zay. I don't think I'm saying that right. Maybe it's Zach, but he was up 92. Another freshman righty, really good building block. So great job with this group of freshman arms. I think that's an exciting collection to build around.
Aaron Fitt joining us. Aaron, you got to see a Kobe Wallace grand slam, and I'm not comparing the players. It's more so the body type, but has a Bryson Worrell look to him.
Mm.
Just the uber athlete looking guy, and it sounds like we're going to see Kobe maybe come out of the bullpen as well as being an everyday player. So we've seen a lot of two-way guys here. He could be the next. He was called upon late last year to pitch when the Pirates had injuries, but he's a guy that Pirate fans are really excited about.
Yeah, they should be. I think that's even the first day. I think I tweeted this out this weekend, but the first day he didn't really do anything offensively. He didn't have any hits, but just kind of watched him. You see the swing, you see the body. It's like, okay, now this guy's ready to bust out a little bit. Then of course the next day he hits that grand slam, just clobbers a breaking ball way out into the jungle. And I kind of like where you're going with that Bryson Worrell body comp, because you're right. It's a bigger body who's also got that kind of rangy athleticism to him. It's really an intriguing um, just upside, I think, with this guy. And I do like him at third base. The arm strength, you mentioned, that obviously plays on defense as well. I mean, I don't think I've seen him off the mound before. I'd like to see that. That's intriguing. But I do love East Carolina's history with two-way players. You mentioned it. I mean, they're not afraid to develop guys that way.
Yeah.
A lot of programs are afraid to do that. A lot of programs don't want to ask too much of a player. You only have so many hours to work with him. You want to kind of focus on developing him as a hitter or a pitcher. To do both is hard. Um, but East Carolina has been fearless about that, and they've had a lot of success with it. So I'm intrigued by that idea.
Yeah, Colby was called upon due to injuries. Danny, what's his fastball hitting? What was it hitting last year? 92, 92. So,
Okay.
yeah, he can harder than Danny, he says. DB helping produce here and host of the Danny Beal Show. Talked to Treya Savage last week. So, Aaron, we're not as in depth as you guys, but we do like to talk baseball year round here at Pirate Radio. So it's pretty cool. You mentioned, a shortstop, a third baseman. I heard Dixon Williams has been playing everywhere. I heard straight from him that he has been playing everywhere this fall. So, where did you see Dixon at this weekend?
He played shortstop, and I do think he's got the athleticism for that spot. He moves well. He's obviously an instinctive defender. I don't know if it's really a true shortstop arm. I mean, maybe Danny could offer more insight than me on that, but I kind of like him at maybe like a third base where he's played, I think, before, second base. But it's probably maybe just enough at short with the arm. But I don't know. I kind of think maybe Boucher winds up at that spot. But Dixon's going to hit. I mean, I think this guy's going to have a monster year. He had a good year last year, kind of quietly, right? Hit over 300, hit some, 9 home runs, some power, controls the strike zone. He runs. I mean, he does everything. But he was an animal in the NECBL this summer. I think I saw him at the All Star game up there, and he's just he tore it up. And I don't think that's a mirage. I mean, he had a good sophomore year. And now I think you're going to see really big things from him this year. I just think he's a talented player, and he's kind of that next guy who's going to step up and be that centerpiece for him.
Aaron, no doubt we'll reach out to you in February and hopefully get a college baseball preview. But before then, I'll ask you this fall. With East Carolina and the American, it's like, all right, is the American going to be good enough to kind of boost East Carolina's schedule? Is it going to be so bad that we can just run through the conference and have a great record like we normally do? But do you have an answer to that? Who is challenging East Carolina at the top of the league, and how do you look at the league right now overall?
I mean, obviously it's still East Carolina's league. That kind of goes without saying. I mean, they're the dominant force here, but I think the league has gotten better. I like the composition of it now. I did see Charlotte this fall. Dramatic turnover on that roster. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but they kind of have to. Actually, wait, are they? Yeah, they are in the American. Keeping track of the conference realignment is hard.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I mean, that's one that I think they'll have a little bit of a rebound. I would expect FAU will be better than they were last year. I mean, they've been a little bit down the last couple of years, but I like that program. Um, Wichita State, I think, is trending in the right direction as a program, but don't really know a whole lot about their club yet. So kind of waiting for that fall report to come in from one of our writers. Um, UTSA, it feels like has been rolling pretty well lately. It's a program that last maybe 2 years has really kind of established itself as a consistent mid-major contender for making a regional, making that large bid. So, I do think there's some depth in this league now. Tulane obviously keeps getting hot in the conference tournament and finding a way. But that program has upside. They've done it before. They've been an Omaha program, in the last 2 decades. So it's been a while. But they got facilities, they got weather, they got history. I mean, why can't Tulane make a run again? It's not easy to win as a private school in college baseball, but the scholarship situation is changing some. Maybe that helps them. So right now I don't. Just looking at the teams in the league right now and the rosters, we're still learning about the rosters. It's
Yeah.
fall ball. Everybody's got so many new guys, but I would be surprised if anybody beats out East Carolina this year.
Aaron Fitt joining us. Aaron, I'm just curious. I mean, I'm consumed with ECU football on game days. It'll be a Thursday this week. Our pregame coverage will begin 4 o'clock for an 8 o'clock kickoff. So I get a Saturday off, which means I'm watching college football all day Saturday. I get Sundays off, which means I'm watching the Commanders and NFL Red Zone. Just curious about yourself. Like, do you, when you're not at a baseball game, will you flip on a football game like most Americans, or is that not your thing? What do you do on the weekends when it comes to sports?
Well, in the fall, my weekends are usually spent covering fall baseball. That tends to be when a lot of the good stuff is clustered. This weekend, I'll be at Ole Miss on Friday, and then I think I got Clemson, Alabama on Saturday,
Wow.
and I'll see Troy on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, I like to watch some NFL here and there. Honestly, if I'm home in the fall, the weather's always the best this time of year. I hope to be out on the golf course. That's really where I'd rather be than sitting home watching football. But baseball is almost over for us. I think I've got this is probably my last weekend out on the road, so hopefully get some rounds in before the fall's over.
There you go. What do you guys have cooked up at D1 baseball right now? I know a lot of fall reports.
Yeah, that's what we're getting after right now. Doing two or three a day right now. We got a backlog of content coming. I think Kendall's doing a countdown of some of the top or the top transfer portal bats that have come in this year. He's got that going on. We just had our top 100 programs countdown last month. It's a kind of a sneaky busy time for us because you think October college baseball's the off season, but for us it's a chance to really go out and learn about as many teams as we can and share that knowledge with the readers. So it's an important time of year for us to deal with baseball.
Awesome stuff, man. Wanted to catch up with you, talk about your trip to Greenville. Appreciate you joining us as always. We'll reconvene next year, Aaron, sometime around February, and get cranked up for another year. It'll be here before you know it, as they always say. So thank you so much. Folks, check out what Aaron's got going on at D1 Baseball. And Aaron, we'll talk to you again down the road, man.
All right, enjoy your winter.